Hello, my name is Dale Tucker, and I'm Vice President of FloorFolio. With my extensive background in the flooring industry, I'm here to present the revolutionary EnviroQuiet LVT. Our double-patented luxury vinyl flooring received its 2 patents for acoustical flooring and methods of manufacturing. This video will introduce the benefits of EnviroQuiet and how it has changed the multifamily world of LVT as you know it. EnviroQuiet is FloorFolio's luxury vinyl tile that is manufactured with an attached sound-reducing rubber underlayment. This is a fully integrated product with a patented solution that in most floor ceiling assemblies, including concrete, can meet the International Building Code while reducing the material cost and time required to install the flooring. By permanently attaching the acoustic backing to the FloorFolio tile or plank, EnviroQuiet can be installed to the surface of most subfloors, including sealed gypcrete. The floor is ready to go and your IIC requirement is taken care of. There are 2 common acoustical testing requirements used in multifamily buildings: IIC, or Impact Insulation Class, and Sound Transmission Class, which is STC. IIC tests the ability to block impact sound by measuring the resistance to transmission of impact noise or structure-borne noise, simulating footfalls, objects dropped on the floor, etc. STC evaluates the ability of a specific construction assembly to reduce airborne sounds such as voices, stereo systems, and TVs. The International Building Code requires a minimum IIC of 50 for multifamily facilities. Some companies state that they have great IIC ratings, but they don't tell you it's based on a floor ceiling assembly that's very complementary to their product, or they profess great STC numbers when that is the structure they're using, not their flooring. With thousands of floor ceiling assemblies, FloorFolio tries to match the assembly to the closest test data available for that assembly. Care should always be taken to review the test data, not just product literature. There are several ways to address this issue, but it usually boils down to what the assembly is that you're working with, the finished floor desired, and of course the budget. Acoustics is not an exact science, and there are many variables, and the variables need to be controlled or removed in order to minimize the unwanted sounds. If you think of the assembly in 3 levels, it might be easier to understand. The center is the structural level that supports the loads on the floor. The lower area would include the finished ceiling and how it attaches to the center level, as well as any insulation that might be above the ceiling. The top is anything above the center structural level. With a resilient floor, a sound mat is usually needed to reach an IIC of 50. This can be accomplished in several ways. If a gypcrete topping is used, the mat can be under the gypcrete or on top of it. If a mat is used under the gypcrete, the thickness of the topping has to be thick enough so that the topping doesn't deflect or crack under loading after it's been poured. Often a sealer, primer, is required over the gypcrete. The sound mat can also be used on top of the gypcrete. This is commonly done by gluing a roll of material to the surface of the gypcrete and then the next day installing the finished floor on top of the mat. Compatibility and warranty issues for those components should be addressed before installation. Again, often a primer sealer is required over the gypcrete. FloorFolio has a patented solution that in most floor ceiling assemblies, including concrete, can reduce the material cost and the time required to install the flooring. By permanently attaching the acoustic back of the EnviroQuiet plank or tile, it can be installed to the surface of sealed gypcrete. The floor is ready to go and the IIC requirement is taken care of. There are a few things that should always be done prior to installing EnviroQuiet. Moisture testing to ensure the subfloor is ready to receive the floor. This requires the building be dried in and the HVAC operating. Patching where required to smooth the subfloor. And acclimate the flooring for a minimum of 24 hours before installation. The adhesive is spread, taking care to install the floor during the open time window for that particular adhesive. Using FloorFolio 9100 pressure-sensitive adhesive, it needs about 30 minutes after spreading before installing the floor, but it should be installed within 3 hours of the adhesive being spread. After the installation, it must be rolled in both directions prior to the expiration of the open time window. Using a traditional sound mat and a double glue down method requires twice the installation time. Hauling rolls of material to the upper floors, gluing them down, and coming back the next day to install the flooring on top of the mat. Then if there's a warranty issue, there's always the finger pointing. Was it the faulty mat or the flooring on top? With EnviroQuiet, you install in one day with one warranty. One of the advantages to using EnviroQuiet is the ability to replace damaged planks with ease. Unlike your typical LVT installation where the plank is glued on top of the underlayment, EnviroQuiet allows you to pull up the flooring that needs repair without damaging the planks around the area. You can remove the plank and its attached underlayment in one step, leaving you with the ability to glue the replacement piece easily. If the plank is glued directly to the sound mat, pulling up the damaged piece might mean removing a large area since the mat is usually at least 3 feet wide. With proper planning and EnviroQuiet, you can create beautiful floors and take care of your acoustical requirements at the same time.